Hey y'all, welcome to Paige's Perspective, where I help you find your inner strength to cope with life. So I designed this episode for those who are feeling as though they are just surviving each day. You may feel like you're never going to get out of the overwhelming feelings. Maybe it's challenging to get out of bed. Maybe it's hard for you to brush your teeth or brush your hair. Maybe you want to be in your pajamas all day. Maybe your mental load is just so heavy that it makes everyday simple decisions seem like it's going to send you over the edge. You may feel as though you're never going to feel joy, contentment, stability ever again. You have no idea how to crawl out of this feeling. You know you need to do something, but you just can't mentally handle it. I see you. I know this feeling all too well. Our nervous systems become so overwhelmed, we feel like we can't just push through. I'm all for meeting people where they're at. I believe in challenging others, but challenging them based on their capacity. Survival mode is a way for our body to tell us we aren't safe. Everything feels like a threat. This is physical, not just mental. Our brains scan everything as dangerous. Your nervous system is running the show. It's not your values. It's not your plans. It's not your goals, not what you want to do. You are just surviving each day, hoping something changes. It's a really tough place to be, and I see you. I feel you. This is deeper than just being stressed. A lot of the times we can't articulate what it is that we're feeling or what we're going through. And we may be saying, oh, we're just stressed, but it's much deeper than that. It can be caused by chronic stress and by, constantly living in that fight or flight mode. And it's exhausting as hell. You literally feel like you are constantly failing, or you can't keep up, or you're not enough, and you're not failing. Your body is just telling you that something needs to change. What's challenging for many of us is that we don't get to listen to our bodies and take breaks. Okay. When it comes to spouses and partners of those struggling with addiction or alcoholism, we don't get to have that luxury of just like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to rest. I mean, some of us can take that time, during the weekend or whatnot, but most of the time, no, we are the ones holding everything together. Those who are recovering from substances typically get a break from the real world by going to rehab. There are spaces for them. And don't come at me here, because I know some may be thinking, oh, well, how is that a break? You have to go to rehab. Well, spouses and partners are the ones who have to hold down the fort while their partner is away. They don't get time away to work on themselves and regulate their system. They may get an hour or so a week with a therapist and maybe some time to work on self-care, but they still have to show up even when they feel like they are drowning. Okay, that's a totally another topic that I'm not going to get into, but survival mode is so important to talk about in these spaces because many spouses and partners are struggling here. You might tell yourself, oh, I'm lazy, or I'm depressed, or I'm a mess, I'm not disciplined. But you're not. That's not what's going on here. That's not the problem here. You're overloaded. You may cry a lot, or maybe you have the opposite effect of not crying at all and feel numb, and that's just as scary. You may snap over small things that typically wouldn't send you over the edge. You may feel irritated about everything. You might wake up and dread the day. You may have a tight chest for no specific reason. Your muscles may be super tense. You may feel guilty for not being quote unquote stronger. You may feel shame because you aren't functioning like you used to. And deep down, you may be thinking, what if this is just who I am now? And that's scary. I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you, but this is no place to stay very long. Some people live in this mode for months to years. And that takes its toll. Life is way too short and precious to stay here. And part of my job and goal is to help you out of that mode and work your way into thriving. It's so doable, even though it feels like it's not. I promise you are capable of thriving. It just takes a bit of mental effort to get there, but it's better than staying miserable forever. This is your system stuck in threat mode. And if nothing changes, your body is going to eventually force a change through illness, through a breakdown, through panic attacks, through depression, through a moment where you realize that you cannot do one more day like this. I get a bit emotional putting this together because I personally know what it's like to be in that mode, and I know how to get out of it. The good thing is I do know how to get out. I do know how to meet you where you're at and not push you too much, but push you enough to take the first steps to thrive mode. So survival mode is not your fault, okay? But it is your responsibility to leave that mode. And you don't have to do it alone. It's not going to happen overnight, but you do have to be intentional about it. You're not going to feel better immediately once you start the process. It takes time for your body to catch up with your mind. This is what recovery is about. You'll be making changes and may not feel better quickly, but with consistency, your body will catch up and you will begin to feel more regulated and ready for more challenges, deeper challenges. The first step is something has to change and you know it. You know deep down you cannot go on like this forever. My survival mode feels very heavy. I've been there a few times in my life, depending on my stress levels. It started with, the constant fight or flight response, so lots of adrenaline spikes. Then exhaustion, heart palpitations. I'd start avoiding situations. I would be afraid to be physically active because of my heart rate going up so high. Then I would have panic attacks randomly, super tense muscles, dizziness, brain fog, feeling like something is just physically wrong with me and wanting to disconnect and cocoon and feeling like everything is just too much for my system. And the crazy thing is, mentally, I would typically feel okay, but my body would tell me otherwise. This mode is a signal that something within our lives needs to change. It could be our environment. It could be our limiting beliefs about ourselves. Could be that we need to set more boundaries. Maybe we need a lot more sleep. Maybe we need some support. There are just so many different things that this could be telling us. And self-care in survival mode is life support. It is what will get us out of that mode. And I'm not talking about bubble baths and spa days. It's gentle self-care that is also challenging because when you're in survival mode, everything feels challenging. This looks like eating nutritious food, drinking enough water, getting real sleep, turning off your phone, taking time away from social media and the news, saying no when you really want to say no, getting help. The goal in survival mode is to train your mind and body to recognize that it's safe. This takes intention and a bit of consistency. This isn't about creating 20 new habits. No. This is about being intentional every day with reminding yourself that you are safe and taking the necessary steps to take care of you. You brush your teeth, you shower, read something meaningful, step outside, get some vitamin D, meditate for 5 minutes. Now, meditation can be challenging when your system is not regulated. However, it's important to remind yourself that you are safe while doing it and continue to practice without judging your thoughts. Breathe. Effing breathe. Our breathing slows during survival mode because our bodies are preparing to attack. It becomes very shallow. But the reality is that we're safe and our bodies are just responding to old wiring. So present moment awareness is so important during survival mode because we tend to overthink and not stay present, which can cause us to feel even more uncomfortable. And then our thoughts start to control our bodies. So if this is you, and you're not sure where to start, ask yourself, what do you need today that communicates safety to your body? Identify what's draining you. Is it constant conflict? Is it your relationship? Is it lack of sleep? Is it living with that unpredictability in your life? Is it financial stress? Maybe it's the mental labor that you have to carry every single day. Is it the walking on eggshells? Is it trying to, control the uncontrollable? Is it work stress? Now I want you to choose a stabilizer for the week. Something that is simple yet challenging for you that kind of gets you outside of yourself and outside the box. This could be 20 minutes of walking daily. And I'm not saying push yourself. I'm saying walking. Physical activity is extremely important to get us out of this mode. Maybe you set a timer to be in bed at a certain time, protein and water first thing in the morning, or drink your water, no phone in the first 30 minutes of the day. Set a boundary that you can actually hold. Ask for for help and actually accept it. Have a conversation that you've been avoiding. You have to believe that you can get out of this mode. Your body doesn't trust words, okay? It trusts patterns. It trusts action. We have to act ourselves into right thinking. We can't think it and hope it sticks. Action is necessary. And I know that feels daunting. I know it feels like, why are you giving me more shit to do, Paige? Like, I have enough on my plate. And that's okay. It's okay. Sleep if you need to sleep. Take a weekend to recharge if you can. Just don't stay there too long. And I'm asking you to remember who the F you are. I'm asking you to love yourself enough to take care of yourself. I'm asking you to know it's possible to thrive in life. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, that's me. I am so in survival mode right now. And I'm talking about, this is days of consistency feeling this way. It's not like 1 or 2 days here and there. I mean, staying in this mode in a pretty consistent state. I want you to hear me really clearly. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. Your body is responding exactly the way a human body responds when it's been under too much stress for too long. So when you've been carrying too much responsibility, too much uncertainty, too much emotional weight, your system has been trying to protect you the only way it knows how. So if you feel exhausted, you feel numb, maybe you feel over emotional, if you feel like even small things feel overwhelming, that does not mean you're weak. It means you've been in the fire for a really long time. And I want you to give yourself some compassion for that. But I also love you enough to say this, that compassion doesn't mean that we stay there. Survival mode might be where you are right now, but it's not where your life is meant to stay. It's a signal. It's your body waving a flag saying, hey, something in your life needs attention. Something needs support. Something needs to change. And change doesn't have to mean, blowing your life up tomorrow. It might mean starting small, taking care of your body in ways you haven't been able to, setting a boundary you've been afraid to set, going to bed earlier, like I mentioned earlier, stepping outside for fresh air, turning off the noise for a little while, taking some time for you, learning new breathing techniques. Little things that tell you that your nervous system, it tells your nervous system day after day that you're safe now, you're okay. And at first it might not feel like it's working, all right? Your mind might still race. Your body might still feel tense. That's totally normal. Your body is used to living in threat mode, and it takes time to teach it something new. It takes time to rewire that brain. We talk about rewiring the brain a lot on these episodes. But if you stay consistent, if you keep choosing yourself in small ways, your system will start to respond. Your breathing is going to slow down. Your mind will quiet. Your body will begin to believe that it doesn't have to live on high alert anymore. And I know this because I've lived it. And I also know that the person underneath all of that exhaustion, the person underneath the overwhelm, the person who feels buried right now is still there. You're still capable of joy. You're still capable of peace. You're still capable of building a life that feels stable and meaningful. You're not broken. You're not failing. You are a human being whose system has been pushed too far for too long. But you do not have to live there forever. So today, don't focus on fixing everything. Just focus on the next small step that communicates safety to your body and kindness to yourself, and then do it again tomorrow and the next day, because survival mode might be where you are right now, but thriving is still available to you. And I believe that with my whole heart. That is all I have for this week. Until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.